All right, welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to be going over my breakout strategy, which coincides with the support and resistance. So by now, you should know what support and resistance is and how to trade the support and resistance. But in this video, we are going to be trading the breakout of support and resistance and or market structure. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into these charts. Real quick, if you're looking for a new broker or looking for a broker in general, try Liquid Brokers. My favorite broker. They have low spreads starting from zero. They have cheap commission fees. They're a regulated broker as well, so your money is protected. And they have different chartings that you can use and whatever best fits your trading style. Fast withdrawals, fast deposits, whatever you want. So yeah, check out Liquid Brokers. All right, so I got a few examples right here. With the breakout. So typically what we want to see with the breakout strategy, or what we do see, is a come up, touch down, the consolidation part. We want to see this breakout to the upside or to the downside. Some people wait for a retest and then a pushback up and a rejection off of this, because usually resistance becomes the new support. Sometimes, depending on how strong and how fast the volume is going with the candle, I'll get in right on the breakout. Then I'll set my stop loss, a little bit below. And since we do scalp like smaller time frames, like the 15-minute and 5-minute, I do keep a pretty tight stop loss. So this is a breakout of a long position, or an example of a long position. You get a breakout, a retest, which is a more conservative way to trade, and then a push to the upside. Here, we have a breakout to the downside. It's pretty much the same thing, except opposite. We're getting breakout and then touches on the support and resistance. We get a breakout of the support, a retest of the support. Now, that is now resistance. And then once we get the rejection candle, we short and take the position to the downside. Now, here's an example of what I mean by sometimes a candle will just push through. No warning, no anything like that. It just pushes through, no retest, And most of the time I take my position on the candle close of the breakout. I get a little bit of drawdown, and that's why I keep a tight stop loss. And then usually it pushes up. And here's an example to the downside if you want to take a short. A few touches on each, the support and resistance. We get a breakout of the support and then a straight push to the downside. Now, usually I target previous structure as my take profit, which I'll go over take profit and stop losses. And don't get too greedy, just, make some here and get out. So I'll show you a quick example of a long and a short position. So for example, like if I got in on this retest here, as soon as I see it start pushing up, I'll give it some time to start pushing up to make sure we do bounce off the zone. I put my stop loss right below that structure. If you want to give it a little more room, you can. It just depends on where the candle is. And then depending on where the previous structure is, I'll just usually target at the minimum a 1 to 1.5. But me, I do 1 to 5, just draw it out 1 to 5. It also depends on where previous structure is. So if I do the 1 to 5, I'm very careful and I'm trailing my entry, or not entry. I'm trailing my market structure and moving my stop loss into profit each time. That way it's a risk-free trade at that point. Then if I want to do a short position, I do the same thing. I wait for the bounce off, put the stop loss right below that structure. You don't want to see the structure broken. You don't want to put it too tight because you don't want to get accidentally bounced out. Then of course, same thing, target previous structure and it'll be a winning trade for you. Some trades will lose. You're not going to win every trade. No trader is a 100% win rate. So to give some examples on the chart, I got a support and resistance here. We get a breakout here and to the downside. And this is what I mean. Sometimes it doesn't come up and bounce off the support. It may reject here a little bit. You may get a little green candle. But if I see the candle is weak, it has wicks on both sides, that's one indication for me to go ahead and short, because we already broke out. Market structure is on the way to the downside. So if I was to short that position, and let's say I just got in on the green candle, we're talking about right there on the previous structure here as a stop loss, and then my take profit, I would target previous structure. So I would have targeted somewhere in this area for take profit. So you get a 1 to 2.5 ratio. And you see we hit the area. We went a little bit below. So if you were like doing market structure trailing, usually like I do, you could have gained a little bit more profit and then just take your profit and go. You could have got up to a 1 to 4. But typically I don't get greedy, because usually small wins turn into big wins. And as you see, we bounced right back up into this market structure here and then pushed right back down. That would have been a good short to take. I missed that short. I got in on part of this, but I missed that big move there. We actually have another break of a support zone here. So we have touches here. We get the break. So we get a push up, but it doesn't break previous structure. So my entry would have been, if I would have seen this strong candle that overlaps this green candle, I probably would have entered off of experience and knowing the market. Or if you wanted to be more conservative, you could have let it break this support zone again, comes up, retests, and then you could have entered there. So you get in. Personally, I would put my stop loss there because of this structure here. I would have been targeting this structure here. So I will move my take profit around somewhere here. And you get a 1 to 3.6 risk to reward ratio, because remember, we are scalping. We want to be in and out. The market can reverse at any time. And as you see, we hit the structure and then we actually get a rejection candle, this green one, trying to push back to the upside. But of course it failed and kept going. And we have another breakout here. And remember I said, when you're looking at support and resistance, just because you see resistance does not mean you're going to see support, and vice versa. Just because you see support does not mean you're going to see resistance. So we have another breakout here. We get a break to the upside, and we get a strong red candle push to the downside. We get the second break here, and then we actually get a rejection candle and then a push up. If you would have got in on the initial break, that would have been a loss. But you would have got in on the second break and then this rejection candle. Usually once I see a big wick rejecting, I'm gonna go ahead and enter, because price is starting to reject, and then we have 2 wicks on each side. You would have got a 1 to 4.4 risk to reward ratio. Quick pro tip: when you see gaps in the market like this one, usually when the market opens or when the market is trending back to the downside, it's gonna try to hit that gap and fill in that price, or at least the top of the gap. So I would have I did short that to that gap that day that it happened, caught profit, shorted back down to that gap again, caught profit, and then it pushed up eventually. So the thing is, since we are scalping, we don't want to go too far into the past. I typically like to see the most previous support or resistance zones. Right here, I see a previous support zone. So I'm looking for my market structure break. I got that break there, and then I broke the trend line. You see a rejection off this support, And then it's a weak push up, trying to push back up, but it's very weak. Now I'm probably gonna short just because this is weak. We got a break in market structure and a break in the trend line, and then we straight break through that support zone. And this is one of the trades I was talking about. Sometimes it just blows through and shoots down. This is one of the breaks I would get in right off the bat. I wouldn't wait for a retest, just because all the confluences we have. So I would put my stop loss somewhere right there to be safe. Take profit. We got a 1 or 2 here. Once we get low enough, like this candle close and we're low, I'm moving my stop loss to break even. That way it's a risk-free trade. That way if it bounces back against you and it takes you out the trade, you don't lose any money. You may lose commissions, but not any money. So once I seen this push down, I would have just went ahead and moved my stop loss somewhere right here just to be safe. Now I'm in a risk-free trade for sure. I'm in an actually profitable trade at this point because my stop loss is now in take profit. And then once I see we come up, push back down a little bit, I would have moved my stop loss here, making sure this structure, market structure, does not break. So if market structure doesn't break, my trade will still be going. So I'm in this as long as my market structure is good. And sometimes it will push up on the market structure, take you out, and then it'll push back down. But that's fine. Like, just take your money and go. One trade a day is good enough. Do not over trade. You're going to lose and blow your account if you try to over trade. So once I see it push down more, I would have moved it right above this structure here. Something like that. And at this point, you hit a 1, 2. At this point, you're at a 1 to 5. That's another example of a good breakout there. We can use this one. It's ugly. Everyone is not going to be perfect. So I'm actually glad I seen this. This is a trade I actually took. I had the confidence that it was going to push down. But what happened was it broke. It came up, retested. And as soon as I seen this red one, I got in a short position, right? So I got in a short position. I wanted my stop loss pretty tight. So once I got in a short position, we really don't have anything to the left. So when we don't have stuff to the left to look for as a take profit, I would typically just target like a 1 to 2 just to be safe. I target a 1 to 2, which is actually the bottom of that candle. So I would target a 1 to 2, but of course, if you trail like I do, you would have gained a lot more. But if you can't, unable to trail, then you can't, of course, just take the 1 to 2. So I got in this trade. I actually lost when it pushed back up. But as soon as I seen it push back up, and then I seen this structure here to the left, and I seen it turning red and it started like pushing down heavily, I went ahead and I entered the trade again. And I entered the trade around there. And I put my stop loss at that structure. And then I put my profit or take profit here. And I actually won is 2 times the amount I lost. So once it came back down, I put my take profit here. I had got busy, so I just left my take profit where it was, and it took me out the trade. And I won a 1 to 4.5, so I won 2.5 times that I lost. All right, so we have another zone here that I like. With this zone, it was a strong push down. I entered on the first break of the zone because of how fast the momentum was. So I actually got in here. I had a tight stop loss right above the zone. And I targeted this zone here for my take profit. And got a 1 to 2.5 win on that one. And all these wins are in a matter of minutes, and even the losses can be in a matter of minutes. So here's a fake out here. I see a zone here. So with this zone, we get a break of the zone. That was a strong candle. I actually entered a long position, had a nice tight stop loss there. And I targeted a 1 or 2 because I ain't see anything to the left. But as you see, I almost hit target, but then it went against me. I lost that trade. And I was done for the day because I didn't want to revenge trade. Never revenge trade. You'll lose when you revenge trade. That's pretty much my breakout strategy. I wait for a break. Depending on how fast the candle is moving or how slow the candle is moving, depending on the volume of the market, I may just enter on the break of the candle. Or if I want to be conservative, I'm going to enter on the retest, the break, retest, and then push up. So with that, it's just going to come with experience looking at these charts. I do suggest that you go, before you try to take trades, just go try to find support and resistance. Try to find these breakouts like I just marked on this example. I do suggest that you practice the strategy, back test the strategy. And this is probably my favorite strategy, the breakout strategy, because I don't only look at it for support and resistance. I look at it in market structure as well. I look at it in trend lines. And once I teach you the supply and demand strategy that I'm going to teach next video or in the next couple videos, I'm actually going to show you what I look for, everything put together. I'm actually going to show you what time to be looking at the charts. Everything is going to come together. I'm going to show you exactly how I take my trades. I'm going to show you exactly what time I take my trades and the pairs I use when I take the trades at those specific times. So without further ado, I appreciate y'all tuning in again. I hope. Oh, also, I am referencing other videos in my videos. So in the description, I'll put videos that I learned some of this stuff from and videos that I trust. I'm not just going to put any random videos. I'm putting videos that I trust. So that way y'all can have a second perspective just in case my breakdown of it isn't clear. But again, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I really do hope that this information is helpful. I hope it's useful for you. I'm hoping you gain the knowledge from it. If not, just comment. I promise I'll try to, do the best I can to reply. And I continue to try to make videos. Not try, I will continue to make videos. That way, y'all can kind of get the idea of how I trade, what I look for, how my week went in trading. Because every week you're not going to have a good week. And, some weeks may be negative weeks, but overall, the goal is to be profitable. As you see, I do a minimum of 1 to 2s or 1 to 1.5 at least. That way, if you lose multiple trades in a row, risk to reward ratio is high enough that you're not really worried about the losses because you're still profitable. Now, if you're breaking even, then and you lose a trade, just go back. What mistake did I make? What didn't I look for? What could I have done different? What pattern do I see? Journal it down so you can go back and, just try to recover from it and learn from it. Just because you make a mistake or take a loss in the strategy, you don't want to just throw the strategy away because people, making millions off this day trade and stuff. So yeah, make sure you journal everything. So again, I hope this information is helpful to everyone. I appreciate you tuning in. Just drop me a like or something like that. I'm not asking for anything in return. I just hope y'all are successful with this, and I want to see everyone win and everyone feed their families. So until the next video, I see y'all then.